Hello again, pilots. Today is going to be a small video. It's more directed to a particular site. It's Whitewool at one of the sky surface sites. Wanted to make this video because everyone's been rushing down there because it is by far the best northeasterly site in the whole of the UK. So for the past few days it's been really busy. The wind's also been top end as well as bottom end. There's been a few issues. Maybe some people are not reading the site guide, and maybe a lot of people are out of practice. So I'm going to do an overview from the site once I get in the air, point out a few places where you need to set up, where you should fly, avoid the Venturi, and other spots that are really good for thermal generation and lift, which does vary from winter to summer. So let's get in the air. Excuse the snivelling. It is winter. It's a bit damp in the air at the moment. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more pilots just on the ground. A lovely wind today. It's very easterly today. This part of the slope that's working the best. The more north it's got in it, that part works better. So as you can see, people are over there setting up. So Whitewool can seem, to a current pilot, quite a benign site. Don't let it fool you. We do have some rather nice thermals that can kick off from here. Last spring, myself and another pilot, Ralph, managed to find a thermal that came off the farm. Managed to kick me up at 5.5 meters a second. Ralph stayed in for another 2 turns. It got over 7 meters a second. So it's far from benign. In these winter conditions, we're still getting small bumps and thermals from the farm and from other houses around here. So it's not perfectly smooth. What this site can do is be quite surprising on how gusty it can get, and that itself can catch a lot of people out. This is a good site for the low air time pilots and ones that want to actually practice their ground handling. But in gusty conditions, I really say you need to be on top of your ground handling. It doesn't matter if you come from a sailplane background or a hang glider background, no matter how good a pilot you are. If your ground handling is not on point, you're going to get unstuck at this site. Quite often people get stopped by that lovely hedgerow back there, and luckily they get stopped by that because there's a road the other side. So you can see where Justin is there with his Alpina 4. In my opinion, you don't go any further back than that when you're setting up on the ground. Where Martin's flying right now, you want to be as close to the edge of the hill as possible in gusty conditions. Gives you enough chance to put your brakes back on, collapse your wing if you need to, and not get dragged into that edge. Down here we have a nice little tree. You get a bit of turbulence off it, but it can also be a really good trigger for thermals. the north end, in real easterly conditions, you can get round these trees. They produce a lot of lift. But I would say that's mostly in summer. With the lack of leaves, the wind tends to go straight through the trees and it reduces the amount of lift you can get off them. Our main thermal generator is that farm over there. Especially when it's full of cows, you tend to smell them before the thermal gets to you. When the wind's more northerly, you got that row of trees over there. Again, in summer it produces more lift than it will do in the winter because of the lack of leaves right now. But it is possible to soar to the other side of those trees onto another ridge. But we're not supposed to take off and land there really. So down here, close you are to that path you can see where the glider's passing right now. That is probably as low as you'd ever want to go to set up and take off. I would never personally set up and launch my glider behind the windsock. You will get caught out in the venturi. If it's light, you'll be fine. If it's gusty, that's when you're likely to get caught out and pull back. Yeah, so you can fly over to the other place. You can see Justin over there now. Not officially part of our site, but it does actually generate some nice lift, and you do get thermals triggering through there every now and then. I managed to get some decent height up over there. But very few people go past the trees. I guess the trees scare them a little bit. So Justin did try around those trees earlier on. There is a small cutout, it's like a tiny quarry, that can produce and trigger off some thermals. I think he was trying that out. But he came back just as quick, because as yesterday it wasn't producing the lift he was after. What I did want to show you, but my GoPro mount broke, was the approach line for a landing here. It's very easy for people to land too far back. They want to go back to get out of the lift band, but then they land very close to the bush. They land very close to the hedgerow. If you do that, I wouldn't recommend bringing your kite down straight away. As soon as you do that, it's dragging you backwards. Might be worthwhile keeping it above your head, ground hand forward, and then put it down under control. It is difficult to land near the edge because of the lift. You do have to go left and right and try and bleed off your height. Alright, I should be able to go back far enough. You need to come back here and start losing your height. Right, landing gear out. You can see I'm actually quite close to the hedgerow right now. That's because I need to lose the height. Get out of that lift band. So up here, the lift band is actually quite far back. But the lower you get, the easier it is. That's it. Sweet. Gets a bit bumpy when you've got someone flying in front of you. Alright, start losing height. Nice and easy. Whoa. Just got to get it right. And we're down. Keep flying the wing. Then grab hold of the seas. At the end of your flying day at Whitewool, do make sure to remember to pay your £1 fee. we give to the farmer for access to his land. Done. Enjoy.